All right, Bobcat fans, thanks for coming back in with us. Here with Coach Holson, hanging with Coach Holson. Thanks for coming on. Also, thank you to our sponsors, Bubs 33 and Roof Masters of Hallsville. Coach, what are you doing here today?
Man, I'm excited to talk about the basketball program. Got a lot of stuff going on, especially with this week. We got a real busy week coming up this week. We're hosting our home tournament, got a regular season game coming up. So a lot of good stuff to talk about, including stuff that kind of already started with this season.
Let's talk about the tournament first.
Okay.
How many games and where all and where at we got the tournament?
Okay, so for the tournament, you got 2 days for the tournament. The B team will be on Friday. So both B teams will play, the 7th grade and the 8th grade.
At the junior high.
The 7th grade will be at Intermediate 6.
Okay.
And the 8th grade will be at the junior high. And then the 8th grade, or the A teams, will play on Saturday. The B teams get 2 games. I can't remember the times off the top of my head, but they are posted on the Sports U. And the A teams will play on Saturday. They get 3 games. And the same thing, 7th grade at the intermediate, 8th grade at the junior high. So the reason we have different number of games is just different number of teams entered in the tournament that we're playing against. Just can't get the number of games with the B guys. So they get 2, and it's also on a school day, so you can't start till later. But so they'll get 2 games, and the A guys will get 3 games each.
Now,
go ahead.
Or are these teams that we're going to be seeing throughout the season, or is this just a good little warm-up, or who do we expect? That's
the advantage of playing a tournament is you can invite teams that you don't normally see in the regular season and get some different competition, because the way it's set up right now with our junior high schedule, even there was a junior high schedule, we still play all of our district opponents a home and an away game. So you're playing everybody twice, just like you would in high school. And so it's kind of nice to get some fresh eyes. Some different teams are bringing in White House, Jacksonville, Lufkin, Carthage, teams like that you're not in our district, maybe even not even the same classification. Some of them are smaller schools that you still get a chance to play. They're pretty good at basketball, pretty athletic, and get a good look at see your team reacts to different teams that you're not going to see twice a year already in a regular season game. So that's kind of always a fun deal to get to play different competition.
So you guarantee 3 games, or is it tournament style where you play when you win you're in, out when you lose you're out?
No, the last few years we've kind of gone and it's really worked out better. Fans enjoy it more because I know it's around. To answer your question, it's more of a round robin.
Gotcha. Here's
your games. Here's what time you play, because the fans, like I said, enjoy it more. They know my son's playing at 5:15. I show up at 5:15, and his next game is at 7:45. I can go and get a bite to eat in town and come back. I know exactly what times it's going to happen or whatever. And also the officials, the coaches, they all know, okay, here's my times. I know kind of how to plan accordingly. And with doing a tournament style, it's one of those things. It's a lot more with trying to get things with multiple days going on. It's a lot easier to do it in multiple days. And so when you're having it all in one day, it's kind of worked out better for us just to have it all in one day. You know, you're guaranteed 3. That way, if you lose your first 2, like let's say an A team, right? They're guaranteed 3. Well, if you don't have that, if it's a double elimination tournament, you lose your first 2, you're out. You're not guaranteed that 3rd game. So this way, you're guaranteed 3. You get those 3 games. You know who you're playing. You can kind of prepare, and it just works out, I think, better for everybody. So that's how it's been the last couple of years.
I can see it scheduling wise that'd be a whole lot easier, but at the end of the day, I want to know who won the daggone tournament. Can we figure that out?
Well,
we got to go by points and wins and losses, and do we get a trophy, or do we just what do we get?
We get the fact that we played 3 games. That's I know that is the downside of not having a bracket style. That was one of the things that was hard for me to let go of when we went to the round robin format away from the bracket style. I did love having the trophies to hand out or plaques to hand out, and whether it was our guys getting them or not, just be able to go out and hand them to those teams when you're going championship day, and they're all excited about getting that tournament win. It's really cool. It's just like I said, with the gym space now, with a lot of events going on, we've had to actually change. The last couple of years, we changed the weekend of the tournament, so now to try to avoid different conflicts with people who are different organizations that are using the gyms, because we used to have it at the high school.
Right.
Now it's at the junior high and the I-6. Things like that. It just a lot of moving parts when you're talking about that. But
and like you said, the scheduling, it's all easier for a coach, especially a visiting coach.
Right.
I know I play at 3:00 and I know I play at 5:00. I got time to get my youths to get them a little bite to eat in town, a local restaurant, hopefully, or Bubba's 33 if they get a coupon from you.
That's exactly right.
Two. Talk about you said you already played 2 games.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about those 2 games.
So the A teams played that the opening game. We had a little opportunity to go up and play Queen City in a
I watched a good basketball
in an event that wasn't It was a tournament that somebody was putting on, and we already had our 2 tournaments scheduled, so we couldn't play the full tournament. So we're able to slide in there and just play one game that they needed us to play. And both A teams, both were able to play Queen City, come away with wins. It was exciting,
Very good.
fun because, like you said, even with small schools,
right?
You can't just say, "Oh, they're a small school." But sometimes small schools, they have 2 or 3 good players, and they don't have as many kids as we have, so they don't have maybe as many substitutes that come in, and so now you're playing some guys that are kind of maybe you're still learning a little bit, and then next thing you know, they're jumping out to a lead. But both groups did a really good job of getting out to leads and hanging on to wins there. And then we played our second game of the year the next week. Actually, I say the next week. We played them on a Saturday. This is how junior high sports work. We ended the football. We had 3 days of basketball tryouts, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We practiced on Thursday and Friday. We played that Queen City game on Saturday.
And it's a turnaround.
And then we
got athletes out there.
And then we came right back and played Marshall on Monday, the next Monday without any more practice. So it's always interesting to see how they respond, right?
First, yeah.
Especially 7th graders who still are putting a lot of stuff on.
Right.
8th graders kind of remember some things from last year, but you got some new faces that weren't on the team last year that they're still learning some stuff too. But both the 8th grade teams were able to come out and get wins over Marshall. The 7th grade A was a close one, but that was one of the things I was really proud about with our 8th grade guys. The 8th grade A guys is we were talking about before we came on here about Marshall being a rival.
Right.
You always want to beat that cross county rival, and they beat us last year. The teams that are the guys that I have coaching now that are the 8th graders that are 8th grade A teamers this year, they lost to them last year. Both times they played them, both by double digits.
Oh wow!
And then to come out this year. And we controlled the game.
Well, that was a quick turnaround to be able to win like that. That's crazy.
We were never down. We were up the entire game. Ended up winning by 11, I think it was. So it was really satisfying victory for those guys to say, hey, we've come a long way. So
you had an interesting a while ago you said you had 3 days of tryouts. How many kids usually try out for you, coach, every year? And how many? And the next follow-up question behind that is how many kids you total on each team? Okay, that's good. Those are good questions. So usually in the 8th grade, usually it's around anywhere from 50 to 70. Trying out. Good night. Yes, sir. And usually at least that many in 8th grade or in 7th grade. So the 7th grade usually has a little more. This year it was pretty close to the same in both grades, around 68 or so in both grades. So you're talking about it's almost 70 kids trying out for a sport. For two teams. For 2 teams. Now, in the 7th grade, we keep 15 on both the A and the B, so that's 30 kids total. And then in the 8th grade, I'm able to keep a few less, so anywhere from 27 to 28 on the 8th grade. So you're still talking about more than half the kids that are trying out not making it. And that's what I tell them before we start tryouts. Hey, guys, look around. There's a lot of dudes in this room. A lot of guys trying out. Everybody wants to make it. And I appreciate everybody coming out, but it's just not realistic for everybody to make it because of you only got 5 guys on a court at the time. Right. It's not like football where you got 11 on offense, 11 on defense. You can play some guys here or there. So it makes it more difficult. And special teams both ways. Right. Yeah. And so that is one thing that it is tough. And I talk to him about that every year. That is the hardest week of the year for me personally as a coach. Mm-hmm. I tell them all the time, I've been there. I've been through that experience. I've experienced it both ways where you didn't make it and you come out and try it again next year or whatever, and maybe you make it the next year, but maybe you didn't play a whole lot or whatever. So I try to encourage them, but it is a tough time when you're got that many kids going out for just a certain amount of spots. That would be difficult. Do you tell them face to face, or do you put it on the internet? Or if your number's here, show up. If your number's not there, don't show up. It's rough, guy. It's rough. I joke about it, Coach. We call them into the office one by one. Do you really? One by one. They come in. That's pretty nice. Yeah, that's a whole lot personable. I appreciate it. It is personable, but it's not me, it's you. It's rough on us. It's rough on them. But we call them in, talk to them. I give them a sheet of paper that says, here's some things. Even if they were the top guy, for example, we all have stuff we can work on. Right. Everybody's got stuff they can get better and improve on. Here's a list of things to work on and improve. If you didn't make it this year, hey, here's some things that you can work on to try to improve, try to come back the next year, whether it's high school because you're an 8th grader, next year's an 8th grader because you're a 7th grader this year. Better. Try to make it next year. I got that from a long time ago. Our boy, Jack Walton, he taught me that when I coached with him. He said, if you got a kid that, let's say, didn't make the team,
and he comes to you and says, "Hey, coach, what can I do? How can I get better?" And you tell him, "Hey, man, just keep working. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to keep trying and see how it goes." That kid doesn't. He doesn't. If he keeps doing what he's doing,
right,
he's probably not going to make it.
Right.
So you give him a concrete list of stuff. Like, here's some stuff you work on and improve. I'm not saying it's going to make you make it, but these are things that are going to help you improve your chances for the next year. And so, yes, it is tough because it takes a long time, one by one. It's more personal. You're right there, and you see the reaction. They see the reaction. And we allow them to walk out a different direction where the other kids can't see what their reaction is. So, and I tell them that, look, you're not interacting with those guys. Go out there, and if you need a minute, take a minute. Or if you need to be excited, and go on about your way. But just posting it on the internet or just posting it on a windowsill or whatever would be obviously easier on our stress level as coaches. But it's also rough for the kids to go up there and be looking for their name. And
that's how I got my heartbreak. It was just looking at bulletin board.
That was exactly how it was when I was in school. When I was trying out for junior high basketball, we looked for our name, and I didn't make it. Yeah. So
a little bit. We're about out of time. Coach Holson, how long you been here at the school?
I believe this is my 18th year here in Hallsville and 21 years overall. So
he don't seem like he's
been
old
here.
enough to
Been here for a while.
No,
yeah,
I didn't expect that.
I feel it. I do. I feel it in my knees, my body sometimes.
Every day.
Oh yeah.
How you coach basketball and you're still doing the track.
Still doing
Coach
track.
Holson, it's funny. He coached my youngest one in pole vault. What people don't realize, Coach Holson is one of the premier pole vault guys in East Texas. It's without not doing it in school.
Yeah, I don't know about all that mess, but I do a decent job. I will say, been doing that for the whole time I've been here as well. Started out just learning because I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and you just start learning from other people that are better than you. And the biggest thing as far as track season and pole vault, especially because it's such a technical sport, is showing up every day, being there. Be willing to learn, be willing to help the kids. And most of them, like your son, they're good kids. They want to work hard. They don't know what they're doing because they've never done this. It's a sport that 97% of those kids that come to me never done it before.
Nobody has a pole vault in their backyard.
How do you pick a kid?
Not nobody. I've got some that have.
Well,
some
really.
that have. Oh yeah, I've coached a few that have, but it's not common.
Like what qualities in a kid makes them a pole vaulter?
For your pole vaulters, you're probably going to want somebody that's got a little bit of speed.
Okay,
they can run a little bit. They don't have to be the fastest kid, but they need to be able to run a little bit. They've got to be a little bit daring, obviously, because you're going to be lifting up off the ground. A lot of people think you got to have big upper body strength, and I tell the kids this: that's not necessarily it either. It's actually more in your core, because you're taking your bottom half of your body and lifting it upside down. That takes a lot of core strength to lift yourself up, but also you got to be willing to work hard and be coachable, because it is not a sport that you just pick up. I mean, even in basketball, there's a lot of skills in basketball. It's a very skilled sport. Which we're talking about basketball today. Very skilled sport, dribbling, shooting, passing, defensively. But even with that, you can pick that up in the driveway and start shooting in your yard. Like you said, most people don't have a pole vault pit in their backyard, so it's going to take a lot of time. I get a lot of baseball and softball kids like your sons that and daughters that have played softball their whole lives or whatever, and they get frustrated. Why can't I get this? I don't know what's going on. Why can't I get better? And I ask them, hey, how long have you played softball? 6 years. Okay. How long have you pole vaulted? 2 weeks. Oh, okay. Well, it makes sense, right?
Makes a lot of sense.
Or maybe even a year. Like, if they've been with me a year, like I've been doing it for a year. That's only during track season for almost all of them, right?
That's right.
And so it kind of clicks with them. Okay, yeah, this is going to take a little bit of time, because it's not a sport you just pick up and just go.
Right.
So it does take some time and some effort to put that in, to say, hey, I'm going to work at this, because it's not going to be just an easy thing.
No. Coach, we appreciate you being here. Thomas is one of the good guys. I love being around him. I love watching him coach. He's just good people. I know we good friends from way back. He helps me out on basketball whenever when my partner, he doesn't show up, which happens quite a bit.
Hey, I enjoy that. It's one of the things I loved working with you last year on some of those games too.
And we'll be doing that again this year for sure. Coach, good luck the rest of the season. Bobcat fans, we appreciate it. Bubba's 33 of Longview, Roof Masters, we appreciate it.